All right, man. We here. Talks Beyond Barbell. Talks Beyond Barbell.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. Locked and loaded. Locked
We
and
made
loaded.
it to a whole handful.
Okay.
Story of my life.
Okay, I like it, man. I like it. Good journey so far. More growth, more on the way.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, let's kick it off. I feel like, last episode was a lot of relationship talk. So, let's start off with some sports business.
Sounds good to me.
Our first topic is the importance of choosing the right coach for you. So I think, for me at least, I can say, I've had many coaches in my life, both like as a child and now as an adult. And I think it's so important to cater your coach to what it is you're trying to do, not necessarily to the fads that are out there. I think each person has different needs as an athlete and their own fitness journey.
Of course.
And it's so important to be clear on that and find someone that aligns with where you're going. And that might not happen on the first try of finding someone either.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree. It's just, in my opinion, it's just really key. But I think for every person, it is different. You have to take the time to really not only find somebody that can help you in your athletic pursuits, but I believe you got to find somebody that's going to help you in your life pursuits as well. Because, typically we want to find, I think most people want to find an established coach, right? You want to find a coach with a good track record, a coach that has a proven track record, and simply a coach that knows what he is doing.
Or she.
Sorry about that, because there's definitely a ton of great women coaches out there. So I think in the sport of weightlifting, it's super important, right? Because it's such a mental game at the end of the day. So it has to be the right mix. I think oftentimes we want to find and pursue greatness, and that's a wonderful thing. But you also have to make sure that your needs are getting met as an athlete. Not every amazing, spectacular coach gels with you. And so sometimes that has to be taken into account on a personal level. You know, a personal relationship has to be developed, especially in the sport of weightlifting, because there has to be a trust there, right?
Big time.
And whatever coach you pick, and I think you can attest this, sir, like you putting your trust in this person's hands, right? Whether it be your warm-up, to your attempts, to watching you in practice, to understanding you as an athlete, to knowing what you can do, what you can't do.
And as a human, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, especially in weightlifting, opposed to many other sports, your coach sees you so, like, in all your glory, right? Like, they see you, and I'm going to speak as a female athlete, and maybe you will feel different in your journey to find a coach as a weightlifting athlete, but like for me, as a female, a lot of things that we encounter in weightlifting can be uncomfortable, right?
So.
And it is so important. It was so important and still is important for me in my journey of weightlifting to find someone that I could trust to just let it all loose. Like, I could be frustrated. I could be sad. I could be uncomfortable. I could be self-conscious and know that I would be challenged to grow, but also supported through those tough times. And I think, too, as a female athlete with a male coach, that can be a difficult dynamic as well, because we do see it in the fitness industry that sometimes, and it's both genders, it's not just men, but people will capitalize off of that close relationship, and it can be uncomfortable at times. So if you are looking for a coach, for me, my advice would be to find somebody that truly wants to see you succeed, and they are not worried about getting personal gains from you. A true coach, in my opinion, really truly is a servant leader, and they do it because of their passion to serve others and to see them grow and to find their strength and to set them up for success. And sometimes that means moving on to another coach.
I mean, I agree. I think that it's important that when you seeking these people out, again, I'm gonna say it, you don't just always try to go for just the best coach you feel is available to you. And that's not no knock, because there's some amazing coaches in weightlifting that do amazing things. But that relationship is important. All right? It's very important. It has to be a place. It has to be a box. It has to be a situation. It has to be a coach that works for you. All right? Not every amazing situation where you see multiple Olympians or multiple medals won or amazing track record. Those are all beautiful things. And as an athlete, you want to flock to that because you want to put yourself in the best situation to be around greatness day in and day out. But also you have to make sure that it is a good working relationship for you, and it is a place that you can thrive, a place that you can grow with people that you can trust, with people that you gel with. Not every situation works that way.
Right.
So I think the biggest thing that people, I think, miss is sometimes, I want to win, I want to be this, I want to be that. You got to make sure that you put yourself in the right situation with the right person that's going to help you grow. Because not everybody gels correctly.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets along. Not everybody has the same ideals. And sometimes you got to understand, man, when you go into some of these other situations, though, it's a standard. And the standard's here. So, and I tell people this all the time. One thing that I pride myself in, no matter what level you come to me at, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to grind with you. All right? Not everybody comes into weightlifting with the same physical capabilities. As a coach, and I know coaches can attest to this, there's some people you can drop in there, you look at them, and it's like this. It's like magic happens.
Yep.
You watching the ball speed, you watching pool, and you may be at working with these people for a week, and you like, man, yeah, they got it, right? And then some people, not so much. Some people need time. Some people gonna need some effort. Maybe some people have certain deficiencies, maybe the hamstring weak, maybe the lower back weak. So it's certain things that are not, maybe they got tight lats or their overhead movement struggling. So it's certain things that with those athletes, you have to tailor program. You have to help. You have to do certain things. So I just think whenever you're trying to find this person, I understand the need for that greatness. But you also have to figure out, okay, what is going to be the best situation where I can grow and elevate, you know? Because I don't know, you know, just throwing that back to you, do you feel like maybe sometimes, and again, it's some great coaches that do this, so it's never a knock on them, but sometimes do you feel that maybe an athlete's pursuit of greatness sometimes puts them in situations that may not actually help them get there?
Yeah, I think sometimes we're blinded by the shiny object, right? That we see these successful people coming out of these programs, but we forget that we are regular schmegular humans, right? And that these coaches that have these massively successful programs, they took time to build to that level.
Very much so.
And if you were coming in as a beginner or even an intermediate athlete into this program, you have to remember that they have to delegate their time to different things. And I'm not saying that one athlete is more important than another, but if you have an athlete that's going to the Olympics, that's going to Worlds, that's going to these large scale events, as opposed to maybe your everyday athlete that's looking to just grow their skill and compete at a local level.
And hope to get them a possible.
Yeah, with goals of being great, but again, that takes time. I think obviously you're going to be a little bit lower on the priority scale. And that's not saying you are not important and your journey is not important, but we have to be realistic with where we are in our own journey too. Yeah. And if you're an athlete that is building towards greatness, in my opinion, and I think we can agree on this, it's so important to find someone, to find a program, to find a team that aligns with who you are, both as a human and as an athlete, because this sport it takes a toll on you. Yeah. Physically, it takes a toll on you mentally. Yes. And just as important as a coach is that aligns with who you are, it's that support team that comes along with the coach in this sport that will help propel you forward. Like, I mean, we train and a lot of our athletes are younger than you and I, but for me, I'm newer in the sport, and seeing some of these young athletes move weight better than me, right? Because they've been doing it for years, some of them, where I'm still relatively new to competing in weightlifting itself. That motivates me and that pushes me to go to different levels. Whereas, yeah, maybe these kids or maybe you are not a world athlete, but at least there's somebody there that can push me to be better. You don't always want to be the best one in the room, right? You always want to have someone that
pushes you,
gives you that competitive edge, right? Something that you can go to. And I think oftentimes money can buy anything, right? Money can buy an expensive program, buy a famous athlete. It can buy, into these programs with great, outstanding leadership. And if you have an opportunity to get in front of some of these people, like I went to the games and I got to train with Matt Frazier and I got to train with Amy. And let me tell you, the nuggets that I got from that short amount of time are invaluable, right? Like, that experience is great. But to me, I know it's not realistic for me to train with them every day. Yeah. And that's what I think we all have to be clear on when you look for a coach. It's okay to start at a local level and build yourself up to greatness. Yeah. And through the different seasons in your athletic career, your coaches may change. And that's okay, too. It's like a relationship, Sometimes...
Because it's a lot of people, like I said, even if you are a part of these associations, sometimes you don't get the spotlight. And that's just a fact in life. So I think sometimes...
in high school, right?
I think sometimes these people chase, like I said, sometimes these people chase a lot of the glitz and the glamour and the glory. And it's not to say, because that glitz and the glamour and the glory is amazing. It's well-tracked. It's... well earned. These people have done this for years. They out here. But as a beginner, sometimes you do have to understand you're not as high, and that's okay. Yeah. And that's not nothing against that coaching. That's just reality of life, of where you're at. So, like I said, as a coach, like I said, I've been blessed, and I do know a lot of coaches that haven't reached maximum level, that they there for every athlete on the roster from top to bottom. Yep. But one thing you do have to understand, and it's just reality as a coach, I'm trying to do the best I can for everybody I have. And I'm going to continue to do that, and I'm going to battle to do that for as long as I can to make my athletes great. But as you grow, that's why you do need the help. So maybe you don't talk to the initial person, the head of the snake. Maybe you do talk to their other coaches that's on brand or on the staff. And maybe you never talk to that person, but maybe once a month. Maybe you only see that person once. And that's the reality once you become a big part of these bigger associations. So you have to take that into account. Because some people get a part of these associations. I'm sure people in those programs, elite weightlifting program can say that. People came in and thought, I thought I was going to see you every day. I thought you were going to train me every day. I thought we were going to be face-to-face every day. No, sir. Right. So, like I said, you have to kind of understand that sometimes our expectations is not realistic.
Correct.
So the expectation is, yes, you a part of this, you a part of this brand, promote this brand, do this, and you have to build your way up to being somebody that's recognizable. And if you never get there, that's fine. Long as you're accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish. But
I think that's key that you said that there too. Like, if that's what motivates you to be a small fish in a big pond and fight your way for that.
Yes.
That's okay. But
That's
just
okay.
be clear on what it is that you want in your journey, so that way you're getting the coaching experience that is going to help you become the athlete that you want. And we are all different athletes.
Yeah.
And so making sure that you almost like customizing your experience, but be transparent on what you want.
Of course. And
as a coach, would you say that you would like your athletes to tell you what they need from you as a coach?
I mean, I think as a coach, it's important as you grow as a coach. And like I said, and my coach, kind of put it in the lamest term for me. You have a hand in your programming. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like it's certain things you need to work on, a great coach will assist you in that. All right, I'm going to add this. We're going to make tweaks to this. We're going to add this to your programming, right? Because as an athlete, you have to have some type of say in your programming. So it's some days your body might feel better. Some days your body might not feel the best. Hey, coach, these certain days, okay. So that all goes and plays into that, right?
Right.
So if you got a coach that's not listening to you in that fact and it's hammering a nail and, hey, keep going, push through, all right, sometimes that's unrealistic. So, once again, one of these things that you need to look for when you are searching for a coach. Do you have a hand in the programming? Can you suggest things? Can you make suggestions? So I just think those are things that are important to look for, but also please just be realistic. That's the biggest thing I can tell people. When you are looking for a coach, be realistic about where you are, where you're trying to go, and your situation as a whole, because in weightlifting, that does matter.
I would agree. All right, so the next topic, and I think for us, athletics have always been a major part of our life. So I personally struggle when I meet even adults that have never been a part of an athletic team, or they have children who are growing up who don't play sports or haven't played sports, because a lot of the things that I learned in my life and that have kind of fostered me into the person that I am came from sports and what I learned on the field, off the field, and being a part of a team. So the question is, what is the biggest lesson that you learned as an athlete that transitions into your everyday life?
That I'd have to say the biggest thing that translates from being an athlete to everyday real life would just simply be the struggle of it all, right? I think that for me, nowadays we live in a cookie cutter society, in my opinion, with a lot of things, right? Shit just ain't gonna go right sometimes. Shit's just not gonna go right sometimes. You actually, have to work hard for things. You have to grind for things. Sometimes it's not your turn. When it's not your turn, can you be happy in turn for other people's success?
Ooh, say that again.
And so a lot of times, we get caught up and the focus is all on us because, again, everyday society, that's what society has pushed. Everything is about you. Everything is about what you should accomplish. Everything is about what you should do. And sometimes that's just not the case. And in my opinion, man, life will never be anything that you want it to be unless it starts to be about others. Unless you start to help others grow. Unless you start to kind of put some of that selfish pride to the side and understand, hey, maybe it's not my turn right now. Maybe I have to wait my turn. Maybe I have to keep working. Maybe I have to be consistent. Maybe I have to show up every day. Maybe, hey, I'm going to have setbacks. Okay, when those setbacks happen, do I have the wherewithal to push through? Do I have the emotional maturity, the mental stamina to stay focused, to lock in, to hang in there, to get things done? So when I say struggle, I mean, to me, and some people, because now we hate the struggle word. Nobody should have to struggle. That's a damn lie. What we talking about? You know what I mean? This life, unless it's something I'm missing. So sometimes things are not going to go right. Oftentimes, you're going to experience more losses than wins. So I think having those conversations with people is productive. I do think we hurting the youth a lot because nowadays it's always about, and I love it, right? Because mental health and all that is important. I think you can attest to that. But I think we done took certain things too far. Now it's just kind of like coddling and protection and, oh, we trying to make things easy on them and we trying to do this, and no, it just doesn't work like that. And so, I think as an athlete, you learn it quick. Sometimes you in the sports, things don't go the way you want to. Sometimes you sit the bench. Sometimes you get injured. Sometimes you supposed to do spectacular things and you get injured. Sometimes you get to a position, meet, game, whatever it is, things don't go right. You bomb out. You drop the pass. You don't do this. You don't make the goal. You don't make the catch, and you have to deal with that, right? Because and I'm gonna throw it back to you because nowadays, it's what have you done for me lately, and that's why I try to get through to my athletes. Every year is a new year. So when I say struggle, these are some of the things I'm talking about, just so I put it in context. Every year is a new year. They don't care about what you did last year.
Yep.
Nobody cares about that. What you about to do this year, what you about to do today. So as an athlete, it's hard. And it is a struggle because every time you're updating your resume, every time you step on that platform, every time you step on the playing field, every time you do anything in athletics. So just throwing it back to you, I would say in your everyday, dealings with that, what would you say has helped translate the most for you?
I think for me, it's that everything has to be earned. Nothing's going to be given. Like you, as an athlete, you have to train day in and day out. And you said it a lot yourself just now that you can, and I played team sports my whole life. I never played anything as an individual until weightlifting. So it was always about the bigger picture, what the team was going to do. And we could train 2-a-days. We could train day in, day out, rain, shine. I was in Massachusetts, so sometimes it was snowing. And you could still lose, And I'll never forget, it was my senior year of high school. Like, I have nightmares about it to this day. It was my senior year of high school. We made it to states, and we should have won that game. And we lost by 1 point. And, to this day, that was a pivotal moment in my athletic career because we really thought we were going to go into that game with the win. And it just didn't happen. And that really taught me that you still have to overcome those major losses in your life. And it may sound crazy that it was just a game, right? To some people, it is just a game. But when you are an athlete and you were raised an athlete, nothing is just a game.
Not at all.
Everything is an opportunity to grow. No one wants to lose. And I think for me, that's the struggle that I have right now.
Especially if you're just the ultimate competitor. I mean,
yeah.
And that's why I said, we talk about things like that, right? If you're the ultimate competitor, every time you step into that arena, man, it's a fire, it's a hunger to succeed and do well. And I would expect nothing less. I don't want people around me that's not competitive. I don't want people on my teams that's not competitive. I don't want people in my everyday life that's not competitive. Why? Because a competitor is somebody who's going to show up. They're going to compete. They're going to work hard. And in my opinion, they trying to do something greater than themselves. So,
exactly.
If you don't have that, how do you
Yep.
push through? So I'm never really upset about your fire and passion because I know that you want to do well, that you want to succeed. So a lot of your anger comes from not doing those things, and I can take that. What I couldn't take is somebody that wouldn't care, blowing it off, or it's just a game. Because the same way them people act in athletics, it's the same way them people act in life. And I don't want that around me. Because if you got somebody that don't care about nothing, then they ain't going to care about nothing in life either.
Exactly.
So why would you want that? So that's why I said people play around, but that still translates.
Yeah. And I think, too, taking it into, a career world, right? Because we both have real-life jobs outside of coaching and training.
Outside, yeah, for sure.
And you can see at least in my opinion, I feel I can tell who as adults played sports and who didn't. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who didn't play sports.
Not at all.
But you have a little bit of a different view on things. You work in a team setting a lot better. And I see it a lot of times that people who were into athletics or are athletes still in every way, shape, or form, they chase a goal. They don't expect a promotion to be handed to them. They don't expect anything to be just put out on a silver platter, right? Because everything in life, in athletics, is earned. You don't get to just show up and here's the championship. Like when you step onto that field for finals, for the Super Bowl, for the state championship, at whatever level you're at, whoever you're competing against is coming for blood. Like, and I was just talking about this at the gym this morning, and I was like, we were talking about a CrossFit comp, and my friend said, I want to drink my competitor's blood. And it's like, to other people, that may sound like aggressive.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Okay, but not, obviously he's not going to drink blood.
I'm just
but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that, but yeah.
But like literally, when you go out there,
I get what you're saying.
You are coming for them. Like I could be competing against my best friend, but in that moment, we are not friends. We are going for the same goal, and one of us has to win, one of us has to lose.
Yeah, of course.
And I think the other thing that you learn from being an athlete too is how to be a good sport. How to then say, okay, we did take this L, but I'm still going to get up. I'm still going to shake the hand of my opponent because they did beat me and they worked harder in that moment.
Coaching too.
Of course.
You gotta have, like I said, I just had, been blessed to have some good coaches, but as a coach now, fam, please teach your athletes how to lose, man. Because it happens. And we going to lose with dignity. We going to lose with respect. And we going to show love to our opponent. And then we getting up out of there. We getting back to the drawing board. We trying to figure out how we can improve next week and how we can get back on top. Yes. And that's just that simple.
For sure.
But, because losing is a part of it. Like, that's just a part of life. That's going to happen sometimes. But how you handle it speaks volumes about you, your athletes, you as a coach. Because I can't tell you how terrible it is to see when athletes and coaches can't lose or don't know how to lose, and it's frustrating in a sense because that's a part of it.
Yep.
So if you can't do that gracefully, I don't really know what to tell you. Another thing I really did want to speak on before we switch to our third and final topic of the night, but just please, I'm going to say this. Everybody within your program is not going to be treated the same. So let me say that again, because I think athletes sometimes and coaches sometimes, we all need to hear this talk, right? Everybody is not treated the same, but the standard has got to be a consistent factor throughout your program. So what does Tashawn mean by that? Everybody's not going to be treated the same, but the standard got to be the same. So what I mean by that is, whether you're top athlete in your program or the lowest one, they may not be treated the same, but the standard got to be the standard has to be the same. So everybody in your weight room, everybody on your practice fields knows, hey, we all are being held to the same standard. So coach is not going to let anything fall under that. Now, may coach treat some of us differently? Yes, because he has to. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same mindset. Certain buttons need to be pushed. Certain buttons don't need to be pushed. Certain times I have to motivate certain people. Certain times I don't. I may need to do this with certain people. I may not. But the standard never changes. And that's where you build respect within your program, no matter what it is. Because let me tell you something. Your athletes see it. If the standard's not the same, people out here wilding, doing whatever they want to do, then, they able to show up, play, get away with things. People start to understand that. It permeates through your program, causes dissension, and you never win. So the standard has to be the same. Everybody has to know, coach got my back. Whether I'm the top guy, the bottom guy, if I come into this program, I'm going to get the same opportunity to develop. I'm going to get the same love. I'm going to get the same coaching. Right? So the standard has to be the same. You may do things differently with different athletes, but your standard has to be the same, because if it's not, and that's something big that I've learned as an athlete, right, from real life, even as an athlete, if you're doing things differently here but you're not doing. People notice.
Mm-hmm.
People notice.
Well, and think about the programs that you've been a part of. Not even the program that you're running right now, like that you formulated and built up, but the programs that you've participated in as an athlete, the ones that have been the most successful, in my opinion, at least in my experience, and I'd love to hear yours, like they had the highest standard for us. Like our coach let it be known, like this is the caliber that we expect, so you can either step up to the plate or this is not the team for you.
And everybody was held to it.
Whether
you was at
exactly.
the top or the bottom of the
And
roster.
it wasn't a matter of, oh, my coach doesn't like me, they're being mean. It was a matter of, we are all going to be held accountable to show up and put in work and work hard so we can be successful together. And the whole point of a team is that we all succeed together.
That's it.
And even in weightlifting, it is an individual sport. You step on the platform by yourself, but at the end of the day, we all are a part of a larger team.
Exactly.
You will not see, even when you go to meets and you see someone who's unaffiliated, 9 times out of 10, they don't train by themselves in their garage.
Yeah.
They have some sort of team, whether it be like remote or in person, that they still are a part of a larger picture. And it's important that you have that standard.
I totally agree. I really do. And like I said, it just has to permeate through your program. So it's that simple. So, and I just see it a lot. So it's just something I wanted to make sure I spoke on, man. Coaches, please, just have whatever your standard is, make sure if the ones at the top to the bottom of the roster understand that, hey, this is the standard. And it has to be met by everybody. And if it's not, I don't care if your butt is on the top of that depth chart. You out of here. Because at the end of the day, there has to be that there. If not, there's no respect throughout the program.
No credibility.
Ultimately, it's going to be doomed to fail. So, big time, just, to leave it off the correct way, just big lesson. The struggle, man. I mean, I cannot say it enough, guys. Athletics translate to real life. Things are not going to always go right. But do you have something inside your chest that beat different? Is your mindset different? That when these things occur, is your mental stamina there enough to stick with it, to understand that setbacks in life, setbacks in athletics do occur, okay? And stay the course, trust the process, and work hard until it is your turn, until it is your time, until ultimately you do succeed, whatever.
And sometimes it really is until, right?
Yeah.
Because you may reach a goal and then you create a new one. And that's also something that you learn in athletics. Like there is always room for growth and learning and improvement. And as soon as you reach the next level, it's time to unlock another one and work towards that.
Because what we say, if it's anything, guys, that you done felt like you done reached your ultimate potential, let me tell you very closely, find something else to do. Find something else to do, because you should never, ever reach the pinnacle of learning of anything that you're trying to do. Yeah. It's always another level that you can reach. And if you feel like you've gotten to something where there is nothing left for you to do, then you probably need to find something else to do quickly.
Yep. Stay hungry, be humble, and always be a student.
I agree.
All right. Well, I think it's time we switch over to relationships talk. So I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends about a relationship, and there seems to be an ongoing debate between men and women.
What's the debate about?
Almost in how to define lying, right? Because some people will say not telling the truth is a simple definition of a lie.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I cannot.
That is not a lie.
Say, yeah, that sounds pretty much like a lie, but hey.
But then other people will argue that not telling the full story is considered to be lying by omission.
I thought that was white lies. We just using bigger words now.
What do you think a white lie is?
I'm just saying. What you talking about lying by omission? I get it. I get that that's the term being used, but that's just funny to me. So, okay, but most people consider a white lie when you don't necessarily tell the whole story. It's elements of truth there, but you don't necessarily tell the whole story because oftentimes what? You're trying to spare somebody else's feelings, right?
Yeah.
So I think when we talk about lying by omission in relationships, I think that's what we really talking about, right? When is it okay to lie to save somebody else's feelings? And when is it just, hey, you lying?
So
you just lying.
So I thought a white lie was like a fib. Like,
well, what's a fib?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. I was going to give you an example.
I thought a fib was a lie.
A fib is like, it's not a lie, but it's like a little bit of a lie.
I don't know.
Like,
it's getting spooky.
Like your mom says, like, did you take the trash out?
I'm getting spooky over here, man.
And then you go and you take it out, be like, yeah, Mom, took it out 15 minutes ago. That's a fib. You literally just took it out just now. But, you kind of exaggerated the truth.
Oh, no, Sarah, come on. But this is the point. We need to talk about this. No, because this is, I think, where we get ourselves in trouble, right? So the reality of it is a lie is a lie. Like, let's just leave it out there.
But is it lying if you're leaving pieces out?
A lie is a lie. A lie is a lie. We be trying to dress this thing up and make it dance, but a lie is a lie.
Okay.
And I'm fine with if you saying, okay, I'm lying to spare somebody else's feelings. Okay? Like, are there levels to lying? Yeah. You talking about a level 1 offense. Well, telling somebody about I took out the trash 15 minutes ago and then I took but that is something people lie about, right?
Right.
Okay, so you talking about a level 1 offense. I'ma just be real, right? It's levels to lying. We don't want to admit that, but it is levels to lying.
So,
but a lie.
Okay. So what you're saying is, if someone asks you a question and you omit the truth, to save their feelings, that's still considered a lie.
Yeah, you lie.
So, like, to put it into context, right?
You lie.
Let's say you are dating. We won't even say, like, a committed relationship. We'll go into dating because, that's when things tend to be blurry and people start to get most upset about things.
Okay.
And so you're talking to multiple people, you're dating, whatever, and one person you're talking to is like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? And you're like, oh, nothing, just hung out. But in reality, you went on like 3 different dates. Is that lying?
Oh, my God. Hey, what in the world?
Is it lying?
What in the world?
Okay, so let me give you some.
What in the world, man?
No, because.
So you sitting up.
No,
so
I heard a TikTok.
Let me add what you said. So you telling me in the dating process, like we dating, right? In the dating process, now me and you have not officially claim each other,
about
nothing like
exclusive.
That. About being exclusive, okay.
Honestly,
and
you
asked
both know
me,
you're dating other
come
people.
on, man. And you asked me, and we in the dating phase now, and you asked me, hey, what are you doing this weekend, right? Or what did you do this weekend? And
right.
I know I went on another date or 2. And I don't say that I went on that date or 2. Is that lying? Why would I even talk about that?
Okay, but that's not the question.
Why would I even talk about that?
Okay, but that's not the question.
Okay, what's the
question? The question is it lying? Because you omitted the truth.
Oh my God.
But that goes to levels of it, right? Okay,
no.
Let me give you some context.
So I'm with you. Once again, it is levels to it. But again, I also think sometimes this is where we get ourselves in trouble. Who owes somebody that?
Okay.
I wouldn't even ask somebody, and this is why I say the dating process right now is really in the shitter. Because we have to be honest with ourselves, right? The dating process is the dating process.
Yeah.
Nobody's exclusive. And this is why I take this jump real personally. Because people get in their feelings. And we really got to start checking our feelings at the door. You're in the dating process. Everybody, man and woman, has the right to do what they want in the dating process. We all have been in different spots in the dating process. Sometimes we done been talking to people and we done stopped talking to them and then they popped up with somebody else they've been in a relationship with.
That's not wrong.
And they was talking to you. And you know they was talking to y'all too at the same time. Yeah. It happens. Why? Because people are allowed to make decisions in the dating process. But I do think.
And selfish ones.
Okay, and we can rap about it. Men get a whole bunch thrown at the wall when we be dating. When y'all dating, hey, you could be blind or blind. I mean, it'd be amazing some of the stuff I hear between men dating and women dating. Like the two ain't the same. Like, come on, man. Like, just keep it a buck. I understand, right? Because it's easy to say, oh, well, men slick when they dead and the men do this. Man, women do the same thing. Y'all making the same decisions. So at the end of the day, Tashawn Williams never taken nothing personal in the dating phase when a woman decide that she want to do something different. Why? Because with growth comes growth, huh? Like you at some point in time, you're a grown woman and a grown man. I'm not going to be holding no grudge. I'll be mad at you because you decide to go a different direction in your life.
Facts.
So,
okay. So the statement was made that this person wanted to, like, they knew they were dating, both of them were dating multiple people.
Okay.
But if they are, if they're so transparent, why can't you just be fully truthful about what's happening? Because, and it was, I don't agree with this statement, but it was like, well, if I'm going to be one of your B words, then I want to be the number one B word. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, no, I don't. But who's...
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Why would somebody say that?
Well, it was in a podcast.
But why would somebody say this here?
But the whole point that she was trying to get to was, like, if we're being so honest, and I'm dating other people, I know you're dating other people, why can't you just tell me instead of, like, going missing? Like, she was like, well, I know what you're doing, so why don't you just tell me? And that's how the whole lying by omission came up.
So if I tell you that I'm going on multiple dates, what does that do for you?
Right. So then that.
I'm asking you a question. What does that do for you, Sarah?
I think it depends on the person.
Sarah, no, don't do that. If we in the dating process, Sarah, and I say, hey, and you know we both.
Like, hey, I can't hang out. I'm going on a date with somebody else.
But you doing the same exact thing. What do it matter? What I got to tell you about that, and why you gonna get in your feelings about it?
But I think that comes back to the entitlement thing.
I don't think it comes back to an entitlement thing. I just think it's emotional intelligence at that point, because
you don't think people feel like they're entitled to information because you are
okay. I can
dating or talking.
I can see what you're saying with that, but at the end of the day, if we have yet to say that we're exclusive, then we not.
No,
if it's already known, I'm talking to multiple people. You still talking to multiple people, and we dating and trying to figure things out, that's okay. If you end up going ghost, that's what you do. If I hit you and I hadn't seen you for a little while and I hit you and I say, do you want to hang out? And you say no, okay, that's cool. I got to keep it moving. Right? That's all I'm saying. So, if I hit you after a while and you say, yeah, hey, I want to see you. All right, cool. But my thing is, again, we adults. We allowed to do that. I'm allowed to hit your line, and guess what? You allowed to let the text go green, or that it might not go through, or not answer.
Not a green text.
Okay, come on, man. Like, so at the end of the day, we grown. And so that's why, like I said, I think a lot of the issues with men and women nowadays is just a lack of understanding that people got the right to choose the partner that they want to choose. So in the dating process,
it might not be.
That's what I'm saying. In the dating process, this is the adage that I'm fully aware of now as a grown man. In the dating process, you are owed nothing. In the dating process, we ain't talking about exclusive relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage. Nobody said that. Whether it's traditional, non-traditional, however you view it, nobody said that. But in the dating process, nothing is owed to you.
Got it.
And I think if men and women would understand this, it'd be less dumbass podcasts. It'd be less dumbass talk things that people saying or not saying.
Or even friendships.
Saying,
why is he talking to somebody
why
else?
Is he talking to somebody?
Doing this?
Why is she doing this, fam? Okay,
because we're not together.
Because we not together.
Right.
And that's just known. So then, and I understand this too. So if your whole ultimate goal when you're dating someone is to ultimately just be with them, right? Then you have to find that in the person that you dating. Now, once again, when a woman or man make that clear, guess what? I'll be damned. People don't have to agree with your ass. And they can go somewhere else.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
That's not where I thought you were going. That's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were going to make this insightful comment.
No.
He's like, fuck you, motherfucker.
No.
Damn.
And what I mean is people don't have to agree with you, and that's okay.
But I think that's a scary thing to some people.
And you have to move on. But I think people do make that clear, right? Sarah, people make that clear. They'll be like, hey, you know, I'm looking for an exclusive relationship. And they tell people that. Oh, don't waste my time. And it's men and women, so I don't want to act like it's just women, right? Men and, don't waste my time. Don't do this, don't do that. Then, okay, all right, well, some people act where they at. So either they accept that and make you their exclusive dating partner within 2 or 3 weeks of knowing you, and maybe they do, or they don't.
I don't understand.
What you don't understand?
I thought you said that they don't want to. One person doesn't want to date. So how are they in exclusive relationship?
What I'm saying is you have to find someone.
I understand. That aligns with what you're looking for.
That aligns with what you want. So because oftentimes, let's be real, it's some men and women, they'll go on 2 or 3 dates with you. The vibe will be right, everything will be in place.
And they want to jump
and then they hit you with that. Well, I ain't trying to waste my time. I want a husband or I want a wife. So da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Whether you believe that realistic, not realistic, fine. If you find a person that aligns with you on that, that's fine. Problem is
finding that.
So
then, okay, so
and if you don't,
I feel like there's levels to this,
okay,
right? So, so I think we can both agree that in like the dating phase,
okay,
really you can't lie by omission because until you're exclusive with somebody, you don't really owe them.
You don't owe them that. You don't owe them anything.
You owe them respect.
Courtesy, yes.
And transparency on what you really want in a relationship.
Exactly. But
lying by omission isn't really a thing because I don't have to tell you what I'm doing all the damn time. That's none of your damn business. Or who I'm talking to or what different relationships look like in my life to define them because honestly that's none of your business.
And we ain't on that level yet. So I'm not even having a conversation.
Well, and I think people like to start talking and then they're like, oh, well, what's going on with this person? What's going on?
Now, if I choose
that's
what I'm saying. Now, if I choose to open up to you, that's another thing.
That's a different story. But that's growing in your connection.
That's it.
So then let's take it to the next level. Okay. Let's say you're in a committed relationship.
All right. Now, okay. I'm with you now.
Now, is lying by omission, would you say, at the same level as a flat-out lie?
Man, lying by omission in a relationship is tough. Like, if you doing a ton of lying by omission in a relationship, you probably in the wrong relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I get into a relationship with another human being that I have to lie to more than not half the time? Or I have to lie about, because let's be real, when we talk about lying by omission, it ain't about small stuff like taking out the trash. No, you lying by omission about some big things in a relationship.
And I feel like when you lie by omission in a relationship, you already know that what you actually did or thought about or whatever it is going to hurt your partner.
Period.
And so you're choosing not to tell them because you know it's going to cause them pain. And in my opinion, if I'm in a relationship and I'm doing something that causes you pain, I need to rethink my behavior.
Of course.
Because in that case, maybe you don't love that person as much as you think you do. because you don't treat a partner like that.
Not at all. So that's why I said I got that's, and we gonna play the game today. That's a major red flag. If you in a relationship and you as a partner find yourself having to lie by omission a ton, you're probably with the wrong person. Why would you have to be in a relationship with a person that the majority of the time you lying to? It makes no sense. But again,
well, even if it's not majority of the time, would you say a couple times here and there in your relationship?
At that point in time, what is it that you really lying about? And like I said, we talking about levels of things. Nobody talking about taking out the trash. Oh, maybe I forgot to do this, and then I run to do it, but I say I did it this. Like, nobody talking about that. But come on, man.
Like that would be a fib
that's what
or
I'm
a
saying.
White lie.
Our level 1 offense. But when we start to talk about,
like, hey, why were you late coming home from work? Oh, I had a meeting, but you didn't say that your meeting was with your secretary.
Nah.
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything off the top. I be watching TV shows.
I don't know. Yeah, you sure do. Cause that one gonna be hard to pass.
Well, you lied by omission. They don't know who the meeting was with.
Okay, but still, I mean, damn. Yeah, you went there.
Yeah.
But I hope nobody meet with their secretary after hours, cause that probably not a good.
Not a good sign.
But again, like if you having a lie by omission. If you having a lie by omission a ton in your personal relationship with somebody or in your relationship with your significant other, you probably just in the wrong relationship. Because, I can't see anywhere where lying by omission in a relationship is a good thing.
Yeah, I can't
think of one reason why that would be good.
But I do think people sugarcoat it in, oh, well, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to do this. And I think at that point,
about what?
Exactly. And I think if you're ever in that place, then you need to take a look in the mirror as to why you're making those actions. And that's what people struggle with. They don't want to.
Or maybe
we don't want to look at.
Or maybe
you say faults.
You say something, but later on, hey boo man, let me holler at you. Like I said this, but I really ain't feel that way. But that's growth. That's being an adult, right? Maybe in the moment, cause you around people, you in a public setting, or maybe around your kids, So you kind of say that, and then later on the night, y'all in bed or something. Hey boo, let me holler at you. I said this, but personally, this is how I really felt about that. And then you go on and have that conversation and dialogue about that, right? So I think that's a better way to handle it than full-on lying by omission and then just kind of riding the wave until that thing ultimately, because it's a relationship, so it's going to ultimately hit the fan at some point.
Everything comes to light.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right, well, don't lie by omission or the whole truth, the whole lie. Now, tell the whole truth. Don't lie. Period.
Okay,
let's play a game.
Levels.
I've been waiting for this.
Levels, man. Levels.
I'm not sure that there's level to lying. Just don't lie. Tell the truth. Even if it hurts their feelings. It's better to have hurt feelings than to be lied to. Would you say?
I would say so.
Yeah, because I can get over it,
I'll say so.
Or at least if you tell the truth, you have the option to, accept it or... and forgive or move on and, cut it. But if you don't tell me the whole truth, that shit's going to drag on.
Man, come on, man. Look at it, man.
I'm stirring the pot. No pun intended. Okay, so I want to play a game. We got flags. And so we asked you on our social media, what are some red flags that you see when you're dating somebody, and what are some green flags that you look for? So we took them and put them in a pot. And we're going to pull a card, and then we're going to let you know if we think it's a red flag or a green flag. Would you like to pick a magic card first? Make sure your flags are ready, because you got to be fast.
If they want to train together.
That's a red flag.
Man, I can't do it.
Why?
Simply because people need... I just think when it comes to fitness or a fitness journey or whatever journey that you're trying to do, especially if it involves anything in that arena of fitness, right? It needs to be something that you personally want to do. It's tough when people just going to the gym because of you. Or when they ask you, oh, can I train with you? All right, but they really don't have the same motivation. They don't have the same goals. And they just don't have enough time put into that. So you mentally, you don't even know what they need or what's gonna transpire with them going in. Maybe they don't work hard. Maybe they get tired quick. Maybe because so it's a lot of things when people start working out. So I just think, yes, all right, well, I'm gonna go over here do this. You do your thing. If you want to go to one of the HIIT class, you want to do this, or you want to see, I'm cool with that. Why? Right. Because you need to grow and foster your own journey. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
Yeah. So for me, my training time is my training time. Yeah. And if you're gonna come train with me, but let's say you only train for like 45 minutes and I train for 2 hours, you're going to sit your happy ass there for an hour and some odd minutes until I'm done. Because I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do the same thing as you. Like you said, let's say you met at a gym. Let's say you did, like I do CrossFit. Maybe you went to the box and you fell in love. That doesn't happen. But if you did, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, you have to maintain your own individuality. At least for me, in any future relationships for myself, we're not training together. That's just not going to happen. We can go to the gym at the same time. Yeah. But we ain't doing the same thing.
I like it.
All right, wait, my turn.
All right, go ahead.
I need a good one. Okay. If they are romantic. I think there's levels to romantic. I tend to get uncomfortable with romantic things. I don't know how to act. Well, I think it's different because
hey, go ahead, man.
I'm usually the gift giver.
All right, I'm going to let you fall. I'm going to let you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm usually the one
who... Let me write this down so I can hear this shit. Go ahead, man.
No, but I don't know how to act when someone, gives me gifts. Because I don't usually get that. So, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It's nice, and I would really like the gesture. But, so it's a green flag. But it takes some warming up for me because, like I said, I don't know how to act. I might laugh if you give me a nice gift.
Oh, Lord. All right, let me pick this.
Wait, you have to answer. Why is it a green flag?
You answered it.
Oh. Yeah. You don't laugh?
What?
People are romantic.
I don't laugh. I just think that's a green flag when people are romantic. You know what I mean?
What is romance to you?
I mean, romance for me is just being considerate to your partner. Maybe remembering small little things that you guys spoke about. And those small little things, can come about when you go on dates. So when you're doing certain things, and it just makes the experience that much better. I think learning your partner is romantic.
I would have to
You know what I mean? So pick one of these and see. If they always reply fast to text.
I feel like that's an in-betweeny. Can I do both flags?
I don't know. I'm going to just throw it the green just for...
So, it's a red flag for me because why are you always available?
Okay. Then why you got the green one, though? It ain't no in-between.
Yeah, there is an in-between.
That's not how the game works, Sarah.
Yes,
That's not how the game works. Now, you had to go one way or the other.
But it depends because, for me, I work from home, and so I have my phone on me all the time.
Okay, so why wouldn't you want somebody?
Flag.
Okay, so why?
Because not everybody has that. If you have a real job, I don't when I worked at Disney, I couldn't be on my phone all the time.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's an in-betweeny. It depends what you do.
Okay.
I like you to be accessible, but not too accessible.
Yeah, which is most women. Go ahead.
I feel attacked.
You're not.
Okay. If they pull up without telling you beforehand.
That's a... Hey.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, don't come to my house.
Don't do
Even
that.
if you know where I live.
I don't care. Don't do that.
Don't pull up.
Nah, hey, look. If we exclusive and we on some super exclusive stuff and we moving towards some major things in our life, that's already...
if you have a house key,
that's
green flag.
That's already understood, right?
Right.
But man, if we early on or we at the other stage like that, please don't do that, man. That's terrible. I don't even know why people do that.
Because they want to get hurt.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
And not physically.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
They want their feelings hurt.
Okay. If they are always available when you ask to hang out.
Why do you want them always available?
When I ask to hang out?
Yeah, like
I think that's. I mean, but I see. I'm not too overbearing. Like I'm just, you know what I mean. So when I do ask to hang out, all right.
Well, you don't really have a lot of spare time.
That's what I'm saying. But
so
when I
like
ask
you
to
probably
hang
ask
out,
like once or twice.
yeah, when I ask to hang out, hopefully you able to hang out. We able to kick it. We able to do our thing. I mean, I don't see why that would be a major red flag.
I wouldn't say it's a major red flag.
I mean, but you put it up like a red flag, so I got to know why. Would it be a bad thing for people to be available when you want to kick it?
Because I want them to be busy sometimes. Like I want my.
This is the thing.
Wait, let me finish my sentence.
All right, go ahead, because it's funny.
I want a partner that has their own things. So there will be times that I ask you to hang out, and you will have other plans or commitments or things like that.
Okay, so how many times do I have to do that before you done with the situation?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying always. The question says always available.
Oh, Lord. Can I ask this? And
well,
I think all the fellas will attest.
Okay, ask.
Why do y'all ask for things in reverse?
What do you mean?
But come on, man. Women do this all the time. So this is why I'm glad we played this game. So if I'm available to hang out when you want to hang out, I'm too readily accessible, and that's not good. If I'm not available enough, then you're still mad. So
that's not what I said.
Okay, yeah, but eventually because how many times you gonna ask this? And I'm gonna say I ain't available before you done with the whole situation.
Because if you're never available, that's a different story.
Okay.
What I'm saying is if I ask you to hang out and every single time you're like, yeah, I have free time. Oh, I'll come over now. Then why don't you have a life?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Okay. How many times you ask if somebody come over?
A handful.
Okay.
After that, I'm done.
I don't get it. All right, next
question.
question.
What do you mean you don't get it? Okay, so if a girl's always asking you to hang out, if you ask them,
the question say if they are always available to hang out when I ask.
Okay.
What do you mean? Ain't nobody saying they running down on me every day, but when I say, hey, boo, man, hey, you want to go do this? And they, hey, yeah, I'm good. All right, cool. I really want to hang out with you. So that's why I asked. What you mean? All right, hey,
okay.
if they are controlling,
I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I'm grown.
I mean, that's enough said.
Yeah,
I don't know how
nothing else to say about that.
You don't got nothing else to say about that.
Red flag. If they are financially stable.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with.
So when is an appropriate time to ask somebody if they're financially stable?
What you mean?
Or how do you tell that?
In
the dating phase.
In the dating phase, that's easy to tell pretty much. In my opinion, if you paying attention, that's very easy to tell, right? I think for a woman, it's pretty easy to tell. I mean, for a man, it's pretty easy to tell as well. I mean, at the end of the day, if you paying for everything, then you know where it's at. I mean, and this should be no shock value, right? And I'm be honest with people. When you could tell when people financially pressed, when you go out and you paying for everything. Or when that check come out and it's always an awkward look, or you done went through multiple times and it's just you and you getting the point, right? And that's not to say that these people aren't good people, that you don't like these people, because some people you be like, dang, I like, but you can tell. Yeah. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's on it. And other things, what? Roommates. At our age, come on, that's an obvious thing, right? Living with parents, okay, that's obvious. So some of these things, I mean, that's drilled in people not being financially stable, right?
Yeah.
And people can come up with probably about every excuse in the book, and maybe they is financially stable because they in some of these living situations. But if they wasn't in some of the living situations, they wouldn't be financially stable. So you get what I'm saying? So I think we have to take some of that stuff into consideration, but that's an easy thing to tell.
Do you think it's appropriate to ask someone you're dating their income?
To me, it depends on what level you reach, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not asking about nobody about no finances that I ain't making major life moves with, because that ain't my business.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? Now,
yeah, I would
if
agree.
me and you starting to, hey, like you said, how key, We talking about, hey, we really getting to that point. Hey, look, man, I think I might want to move in. We might want to do this. We want to get engaged. Okay, now we need to have those realistic conversations, right?
That escalated really
but
quickly.
It's no problem with even when you in the dating phase or when you getting a little bit deeper in your conversation to have those conversations. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, hey, what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on splitting bills? What's your thought? You know what I mean? So
what if someone asks you about your income? Would that be a red flag?
I don't think it's
like in the dating phase.
Oh no, I don't think it's a red. I don't think it's a red flag.
Like you're on a date out to dinner and she's like, hey, like, you know.
No, I don't think it's a red flag at all.
As an educator, how much money do you make in a
year?
year?
I don't think it's a red flag at all. Because at the end of the day, you be honest with people. And if you ain't rocking with it, you ain't rocking with it. Because that's going to be what it's going to be. I think a lot of dudes get theyself and women, so we'll always keep it 100% both ways. A lot of people get in those situations where, hey, some people at your price bracket, bro. And you can understand that and you realize that on dates.
Yep.
And so I tell dudes, it's no shame to Sean game. I teach our coach, dog. That's where it's going to be at. So if you looking for somebody that's going to bring in $100K, over $100K, service your lifestyle, take care of you, then I ain't the person for you. So I welcome that question early on so me and you can both know where this at. All right, so...
I don't want anybody asking me what I make.
Hey, I'm just saying what I can say, if they do, that's just it. You know what I mean? If they ask to share locations, password with each other. Because it just reek of insecurity. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell people, man, the tough relationship to be in is with a man or woman that don't have no self-confidence and they insecure. So if I got to share my passwords and all that stuff with you, and like I said, man, y'all would be amazed to see the level of beautiful people that are insecure to the max.
Yeah,
they really be asking for shit like this.
I know.
I mean, so you have to understand, like, if you dealing with somebody insecure, please, you may want to consider getting out of that situation.
Well, and I think, too, it can go to the controlling side as well. So if someone's asking you, like, hey, share your location with me, it very well could be that they are trying to control the narrative, like where you're going, what are you doing, why are you doing this to me kind of thing. So as much as some people, especially young people, think it's cute, like, oh, they want to see where I'm at, oh, they trust me, they're giving me their password. No, it's not cute. It's not cute. It is not cute at all. It's either coming from a place of insecurity where they don't trust you and they want to be able to see what's going on at all times, or they may be a little bit narcissistic and want to control the situation as well. So, and as adults, we all deserve our own privacy. Like, don't get me wrong. If I'm in a relationship, you're not going to find any inappropriate messages between a man and I. But you sure as well will find me talking shit to my best friend. And I don't want you reading that either.
Like I said, it just reeks of insecurity. If you dealing with somebody that's insecure, man, you probably in the wrong relationship, man.
I would agree.
And you're not responsible to help them get past their insecurities. I'm going to say that on the part right now. Because people be...
Say that again?
You're not responsible to help people get over their own insecurities.
Yeah.
Like I said, come to people heal or don't come at all. But that's ridiculous. But,
that's a good one. Yeah. Did you hear that?
What the hell are you talking about?
Rewind. Okay, this one says, if they encourage you to do things you love, even if they can't or don't want to participate. Want me to read it again?
Yeah, I need to hear that one. That was long.
That was long?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If they encourage you to do things that you love, even if they can't or don't want to participate.
That's a major, Granny.
Yeah. We love that. I think for me, one of my, like, biggest things that I enjoy is being supported. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do everything that I do.
But if you show up, you waving the flag, hey, we rocking with you.
Yeah, and not even, like, you don't even have to be there. Just ask, like, hey, how did this go? If you know it's important to me, like, that's huge because it shows that you care and that you want me to genuinely succeed. So
I love it.
Huge green flag. Yeah, like great. 5.
if they are still friends with their ex.
Where's your flag?
I don't even know which one to put up.
It's in betweeny.
I'll throw it the red.
I would say for me, I'm gonna go with red, but only because I don't know if you can be friends, like true, honest friends with your ex.
Yeah.
I think you could be acquaintances again.
I don't even, and I throw it the red just because I don't know at certain points that it's even healthy.
I would agree.
So, I mean, I think nowadays, just with where we at, and just with where we at relationship-wise, man, I think it's hard for people to let go because it's hard to start over. It's hard to start over. So most people are very fearful about starting over. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you have a lot of circling the block, or you have a lot of retries, or people end up talking to other people that they didn't talk to once before, right? Because people, it's hard to start over, and it's something to be said about being with people that know you, that you know emotionally, that you know the family. So it's hard to get.
It's a level of comfort.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to get to know other people and things of that nature. So
and it takes time, and that's something that we don't have a lot of is time. But I think my question would then be like, why do you feel the need to maintain that friendship? Like, I encourage people to be like cordial. Like, I think if you see
and I mean, ultimately,
especially if you and your ex were like heavily intertwined in your lives, like let's say you grew, like you live in the same town.
Kids.
Especially if you have kids, like that's a whole different ballgame. I think if you have kids, you and your ex need to figure out how to be friends, or at least friendly, like cordial. But like, there's no need to see your ex and like grimace. I think that's also a red flag. I think it's important to maintain some sense of just, being cordial.
I agree. All right, let's see here. If a majority of their friends are the opposite gender. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Can I be an in-betweeny?
I mean, I don't know.
I think it depends on the level of their friendship.
Throw up, man. I don't know what flag to throw up. What flag you throwing up here?
Well, if you throw one, I'll throw the other, and then we're even, right?
I mean, I guess green. I don't know. I'm both? I don't, because that one is just a tough, for men and women.
I would agree.
That is a tough one to have, because first and foremost, again, this goes back into the insecurity part. If you secure with yourself, if you understand what you bring to the table, if you trust the person that you with, none of this matters. This ain't a red or green. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. But if you don't, hell yeah, it's this. It's this. But if it's this, you need to find somebody else you talking to. Why would I be talking to somebody that got multiple friends of the opposite sex, but I feel like she talking to them? Or that's an issue. Or
are they
vice
interested
versa.
in her?
Or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like that, you probably in the wrong situation. But like I said, that's none of this if I'm secure with myself, if I understand the situations around those friendships, and ultimately I know the person I'm dealing with. Mm-hmm. But if I don't trust the person I'm dealing with in the first place, why these even matter? You throw these out. I mean, that don't matter.
Well, and I think, too, it comes back to building that trust with your partner, right? Like, I could say, for me, I don't really care if you have friends of the opposite sex. That doesn't bother me because I mean, hello, we're friends, right? Yeah. But, like, if it gets to a point of, like, oh, they're hiding things, or, like, they don't want you to meet these friends of the opposite sex, then we can start saying wicked red flag. Yeah. But if they're healthy friendships and you are included in those friendships, just like you would in any friend group.
Because ultimately, these people might have been around long before you occurred. And that's what I be trying to tell people. When the relationship over, man, unfortunately, hey, your friends going to be there still. Exactly. And that's just a fact. So,
and it's important that they have people that love and support them. Yeah. And if that is someone of the opposite sex, that, like you said, you should be confident in what you bring to the table, and that you should trust in your partner.
And if you don't,
then they're not your partner.
They're not, and that don't.
Wait, it's my turn. Let me get the last one. Last one for good luck. Okay, if they don't work out or go to the gym, I think it's a red flag.
It's an in-between for me. I mean,
Let's hear it.
I've dated women that didn't enjoy going to the gym, and I've, talked to women that did enjoy going to the gym. I mean, ultimately, that's a decision that you make. I know Tashawn going, so if that's an issue for you, then we probably shouldn't be talking. And I make that clear that I go from the onset. So at that point, you decide what you want to do. But to me, I just put up it's an in-between because it just depends on where you at in your situation. Now, some people, that's a non-negotiable for the person they talk to. But some people like me, I don't necessarily care, but you need to know I'm going to go. So if you don't enjoy going, that's fine, but that's something I'm going to do, and that's something that's going to take up some time for me. So long as you fine with that, we can still rock. I'm not going to force it on you, but I don't want you forcing on me why I'm going and why I don't want to hear that.
That part.
So if that becomes the issue, then, then
Do you think in your experience it's difficult for people who don't, and not even the gym, like a workout could be like going for a walk. It could be yoga. Like someone who doesn't have some sort of physical fitness in their life to understand what
I think so.
And the level of importance.
I think so because people that don't go to the gym and don't work out always want you to be readily available to do things with them. So when you don't and you say you're going there, it feels like an obligation to spend time doing things with them.
Yeah.
Like, fam, that's something that I've told you that I do. That's something that was that was something that was in bold print. So at the end of the day, that's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not going to adjust just to make you feel good when that's something that I do to personally make me feel good. So, again, if you can't meet in the middle on that, then I think the situation just cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a red flag for me because I want them to understand the importance. And unless you do it yourself, I don't think they really understand the commitment level that we have to what we do both as athletes and as coaches, right? And how that takes a priority in our lives. Not because it's something that, we would just rather be at the gym than spend time with you. Yeah. But it is a lifestyle. It's a way of living. It's something that brings us joy. And I think it's important for your partner, like we said in one of the other questions, to support that. And sometimes you just don't get it unless you've been there. All right, well, our bowl is empty.
It's empty.
Those are all the flags.
That is it.
All the flags for today.
And that is it, good people. Talks Beyond Barbell, episode 5.
5.
See y'all later, good people. Until next time.
Bye.